Hello in TV land, it's your boy Freelancer Joe. I gotta stay close to the mic. Ready to once again get cracking. The chair's a little further today than usual. I would fix it, but that would require me to stand up. And your boy Beefcake Joe, Freelancer Joe, just finished his training, so he's not just finished. Finished my training, took a shower to cool off. So feeling a little spent right now, spent. Probably sweaty too in a few minutes. Elevated body temperature. Makes you wonder why I'm wearing the sweatshirt. Well, I wear the sweatshirt for the same reason that people wear sunglasses when looking at the sun. I don't want to blind you with the overpowering masculinity that would be unleashed if I wasn't wearing the sweatshirt. Plus, I like having a consistent look, So you see me, I look a certain way, always a certain way, like an anime character or a comic book character. My uniform of sorts, if you will. Yes, but well, here I am talking about myself again. What can I say? It's one of my favorite subjects. Used to be my favorite subject until my honey bunny came into my life. But I'm not going to bore you with my honey bunny, even though I'm sure my dulcet tones, speaking about such a matter, is very, very interesting. But how are you doing today? I hope you're doing great. As you can tell, I'm in high spirits. Possibly part of it being the post-training endorphin rush. But if that's the case, then that's all the more reason why people should work out. You always feel better, and you get rid of any pent-up energy. You get the hormone rush afterwards, and overall, it's just generally good for your health, especially if you live a sedentary lifestyle such as myself. 9 hours a day in front of a laptop or computer at work, and then you got a half hour here or more here, and then all the time I spend sitting playing video games. And darn tootin', I need to get some training in. Anyway, it is Thursday afternoon, and since tomorrow is going to be my Gaming with Joe day, I'm going to try and finish up my lambda refactoring today. Did my camera just stop recording again? Yeah, it did. Hold on a second. That's not a good face. See, that kind of thing is why I don't like taking pictures, because it always seems to happen at times like that. Alright, let's try again. System tools. Yay, camera back on. Right resolution. Well, not the right resolution, high resolution. So what was I saying before I was so rudely frozen for immortality? Especially since once this video gets uploaded on the internet, anything on the internet lasts forever. Yeah, I've put up worse on the internet. I am worse than the internet. So as I was saying, I'm going to try and finish up the lambda refactoring today. That's just the refactoring. And hopefully test them too. I don't think I'm going to have time to get to the query parameter. I might, probably not tomorrow. Probably on Saturday. Excuse me, something's stuck on this table here. Yeah, I should show you what my work setup is like. No, I could, but I'm fascinating enough as it is. All right, let's get cracking. To the past couple of days where I was cramming for time, I would like to. Okay, that light's still on. I would like to be able to get much finish with a little more time today. All right. Alright, alright, alright. What didn't I change? What did I change? That's right. So I've been changing my... okay, so we have our handler, which does the actual processing, and then something to send the response if the parameters don't work. This is where we create our parameters. This is where we send our email, and if it does work, send the response again. If it doesn't, send the response. And what I was changing was this, and I think that worked. No, I didn't. I haven't tested it, that's why, but I did finish it. So let's double check. Let's go to our lambda, because if this one works, contact email, load the code. Any warnings or errors? No. Save. We test missing fields. And alright, got that. Let's change our test event to test. That's a vacuum. And oh, there, my email just appeared. I'd show you. Actually, you know, I could move the laptop, but alright. Anyway, so that worked. That is good. That is bueno, as they say. Now, so why did I change it to that particular approach? Well, I changed it to that because, while this is fine, while was the response I sent back from this lambda is just the status code and a simple message, for a read, I would probably want an S3 read. I want to send back a message as well as the content of the object that was read, which means I needed to have an extra field. So rather than just, you know, constantly tweaking that, I could just make this method contain the actual response. So let me see. Oh, and did I want to change the messages, make them environment variables? I decided against that, just because it's the sort of thing that's not going to change that often. And to be fair, this probably would be passed in via parameters. Well, the bucket would be parameterized, and I'm certain that the key name wouldn't. It depends on how I set it up. But anyway, let me see. So read object is fine. Match it up with that. We don't. It doesn't read parameters, so I mean, it doesn't read parameters from the trigger that invoked it, so that's fine. This says send email. This says on object. So let's do. Okay. All right. I got. So it's really this block of code right here. Send response. Send response. It's still a 500. Yeah, still 500. But instead we just do this. This is basically just some text in front of the actual error. Probably not necessary. Could just pass the error straight up. And let's see what our response looks like. Alright, okay, so since we're... Alright, so this takes the callback, the error, response code, and body, but this one takes the full response. And then on the response itself, it just sets the headers. Response headers equals, Oh, too much space. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Add that. And a response dot status code is going to equal response code that got passed in. We don't have to set the body because we are already going to be setting it. And then we do the callback. So that would work for an error. And I don't need this anymore then. Right? Right? Because on errors, yeah, okay. So I'm going to get rid of this. And I like how the block is getting smaller and smaller. Again, we want these lambda code things to be as small as possible because so that they don't take up too much memory. Not that I'm benchmarking for efficiency. Alright, and then on object content, I'm going to put this after object content just to be consistent with the other lambda. So, it takes the callback name. Okay, so I just create my response, let response equal. Oh, you know what? I could just have replaced this. Let response equal that. We don't need headers. We don't set the status code, but that happens in the send response. Body, we'll take that. We'll take that, the content that actually gets read. And now, instead of doing this callback, that's the drawback of, you know, my training. So much power contained in this body that furniture has trouble containing it. Alright, so this response sends a JSON object within one attribute set, but we created this object right here. So this is what we'll pass in instead of that. So let's see, it does the read object, and which creates the parameters. See, even that structure is a little different. To be honest, I'll keep it like this for now. Just for now. This is mostly demo stuff anyway. Control S. Okay, let's see if that works. For those who are in the path of the hurricane, that hopefully will not rock you like one. Hope you all ready. Where I'm located, we probably just gonna get some rain. Okay. No, we do not have that. That's the only warning. Even though we're probably only gonna get rain, that did not stop people from panicking. Although to be fair, my drive back today was much better than it has been the past couple days. So let's save it and test it. And there, that worked good. See, when you have stuff that works, it's easier to fix or to modify, as opposed to modify and fix at the same time. Alright, peachy. So that just leaves my dynamo ones. So let's see what we got here. Oh, this should be a lot simpler. Let's do the read first. Okay, so this one also takes in parameters. You know what I could do? Oh, why did I not think of that? Why did I not think about that? All right. Man, that's so obvious. All right. See, these are environment variables, but they still eventually become parameters that get passed into the AWS call, right? So why doesn't this just have a generate parameters function too? And then in the future, you know, if I do pass them in via the trigger, then I can just replace or update that one function. And I see it's clear that this is the same here because we create parameters. Same thing here, we create parameters. Now this block of code is obviously going to get bigger, but that's because I don't. Okay, so I'm just going to change this from. Well, I actually don't think I'll be able to finish. All right, let param object equal generate parameters. Let's chase in the event. If param object response code does not equal 400, then we are going to just pass in the params. Generate params. Might as well spell out parameters. Generate params, which creates a response code subject. That becomes that. And then the rest should stay the same. So similarly, in my S3, we're going to say let param. Might as well just. You haven't had an episode of Freelancer Joe until you've seen me cut and paste. I'm almost certain I've already done that though. Alright, so generate parameters. Which passes in an event. Alright. So we don't actually read from a body. And we're not using you, but we are using you. Right? So var bucket name. Var key name. Right? Oh, I could adjust on this. Alright. So if bucket name does not equal null, and key name, excusez-moi, does not equal null, then response codes going equal 200. And like this is what I'm returning. It's easier just to do it this way. Return that, but in the params we pass this in. There, that should be better. And instead of, okay, right. So if param object response code does not equal, then we're going to read object. This takes in bucket name. And key name, we're going to pass in param object dot params. which we already do. And if it's missing those things, we'll send a response. And in our read object, instead of that, we got params. Oh, might as well just rename this params. Right? Since we have params, we don't have to bother constructing it. Of course, it made it longer, but now it's actually wired up to handle missing fields. So let's test it again. Okay, what are you missing? Key name. Did I not read that right? Send object callback. Oh, okay. Params dot keyname. Yeah. Error. Really? On object content. No, because you successfully read. Oh, really? 500. No, you should be at 200 because you worked. Yeah. 500 for missing. Response. 400. No, 400 for missing. 500 for error. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Save. Test. Oh, no, we got an error. Bucket name is not defined. Bucket name is not defined. Bucket name is not defined. Params.bucket. Read object. What was I missing here? S3. Did I not specify that? Bucket name is not defined. Line 15. Ah, didn't correctly clean up my code. And the handler. Save. Test. There we go. And let's see if that missing fields thing works. Let's remove you. Save. Test it again. This should give me the 400. There we go. Or 500. 500. Parameter, if bucket name does not equal no. Maybe it should be this. If bucket name and key name response code equals 200, if param object response code does not equal 400, then try to read it. Alright. There we go. Missing fields. Awesome. Let's try that again with the key name. Styles.css. Save. Test. And At least we got an error. Style, is it styles or style? Might have been style. I should have. Style. I figured as much. It's interesting it gives an access denied. That's a security reason, I suppose. There we go. Oh, that's undefined. Why is that undefined? Hello from lambda keyname on object content params dot key. That's why. That's why. But I'm not going to bother retesting that. Let's double check. Let's double check my email one again. Because I did rename things. Rather than, we'll just test that one. Test. Missed fields. Alright. Nerds. Not gonna have time to get to the Dynamo ones. Yeah, it would probably take me. It'd probably take me another 30 minutes to get all that in there. So. I do like how it's coming together, though. See, the reason I do these things in small bits is to refine my approach to how to do these things, so that I can become quicker and quicker and more efficient when I need to develop them. So even though it seems like I'm not making much progress, it's very much like how a blacksmith would hammer on whatever they're working on to work out the impurities. So very soon, man, it's already pretty close as it is, I think. I've got a method that I like, that I can pretty much follow, that's consistent across all the lambdas. Yeah, I dig it. And to be honest, I could probably make a template of some kind if I really wanted to. I mean, include the SDK, you create a reference to whatever servers you're using, have a function for generating parameters. If you have all the parameters, then activate the service. I can rename that to invoke service. Send a response. That's you're missing some things. Otherwise, when you invoke the service, you invoke the service, and if it's not an error, you send a success response. If it is an error, you send a failure response. I like it. I like it. Damn. See, now that I'm looking at it, I like the idea of invoke service as opposed to send a response. Yeah. Very cookie cutter. Now, it looks very simple, which of course it is, and that's the whole point. But don't let it. Don't assume that it can get more complicated very quickly, because you could have something that invokes multiple services. Or, conversely, I mean, you could have. It might not be easier just to set up multiple lambdas as opposed to that. So one service, or one lambda invokes a service, and then another lambda triggers off of that service. So, I mean, there's just so many ways to skin the cat. It's rather unfortunate that that's a saying, because I like cats. Yeah. Anyway, I'm at the 30-minute mark. Yeah, we're getting closer. We're getting closer. So, thanks for sitting through me I hope you didn't sit through me. Thanks for sitting with me through this. Words, Joe. Use your words. And, yeah, I hope that you have a nice, wonderful rest of the day. I hope you join me tomorrow, or, watch some of my other videos whenever it is convenient for you. And that's because Freelancer Joe is always here for you. Cool kid. words about liking, subscribing, commenting, suggesting, and until next time, take care and God bless.